The long-awaited Switch 2 is finally here and people are finally getting a chance to get a feel for the console. While a new system launch is always exciting, this one feels a bit strange. While it is for sure an upgrade from the previous version, I gotta be honest. It really feels to me like a Switch Pro rather than a next console iteration, but let me elaborate. Don't get me wrong, it was very exciting getting to pick it up at midnight and coming home anxiously ready to sit down and play. Once I did though, the feeling kinda set in that it doesn't really feel all that different from a UI standpoint. This is mostly due to Nintendo keeping everything pretty close to what it was, and they even pushed an update to the Switch to align it with this new console. Now while we know this is mostly due to the anti-piracy matters and virtual game card functionality, it really was for the day one patch that was required out of the box. Once it is downloaded though, it's very obvious how similar the two UIs are. At least it was for me, because I did a system transfer from my Switch OLED. Microsoft had a similar update to the Xbox One when the series consoles were first releasing. I guess it makes sense, but it's something I noticed right away. The hardware itself, however, does feel significantly better. The Joy-Con 2 connections feel good and the screen is very good despite not being an OLED. The performance is a huge step up from the Switch 1, but you're really only going to notice for games that got Switch 2 patches for better performance. I noticed Fortnite ran significantly better, and it is actually playable if you are used to higher frame rates even though it is only running at 60 frames per second. All of the graphical options for modern displays are a welcomed addition also. I can see this being the first time a lot of people who are not as in-depth in the gaming scene really appreciating the frame rate boost, especially if you've never seen 120 frames. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom look significantly better, and it does have me excited to revisit both of these titles. Mario Kart is fun, but I mean, it's just Mario Kart, you already know what you're getting. The Pro Controller 2 does feel really good, but I can't tell if it's just because it's new and not beat up like my old one. The pedals on the back have a nice placement as well. The Joy-Con grip still is a bit awkward, but at least it's included with the console, and the Joy-Cons themselves feel fine. The device itself all around feels a bit faster. The eShop is also fast, and loading into it is seamless. No more pesky loading screens that feel archaic. Touching on the screen again, it is very impressive despite not being an OLED. This is very obvious when you place it next to the Switch 1 console side by side. I think my excitement for the console will grow as we start getting a lot more first-party flagship games like Metroid Prime 4. At the very least, it has me excited to go back and complete older games that I've had in the endless backlog. That's one of the good things about the Switch having a very good library. Overall, I think this is for the most part what people have wanted for the next iteration. While I wish the UI had a bit of an overhaul, I can't complain because Nintendo has been playing it safe lately when it comes to that type of stuff. I plan to make a full video in depth going over my thoughts after spending some more time with the console. I'll spend some time with it and I'll report back later. Did you manage to grab one or attend a midnight launch of